The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark. When Jesus and his disciples arrived at Bethsaida, people brought to him a blind man and begged Jesus to touch him. He took the blind man by the hand and led him outside the village. Putting spittle on his eyes, he laid his hands on the man and asked, "Do you see anything?" Looking up, the man replied, "I see people looking like trees and walking." Then he laid his hands on the man's eyes a second time, and he saw clearly. His sight was restored and he could see everything distinctly. Then he sent him home and said, "Do not even go into the village." The Gospel of the Lord. At 6:15 a.m. this morning, I received a text message from one of our new parishioners, a man with deep faith, and will be a great part of our parish family. And he said simply, "Father, the good Lord has called my dad back home. He is no longer suffering or in pain." And that was a beautiful text, because here is a man who has just lost his father, his last remaining parent. And anyone in here who has lost a parent, I know it hits differently when a parent dies. Because our parents are our life givers, they're our parents, and we see them, and when we lose them, it hits differently than anybody else. And what was beautiful about this text was that immediately I said, yes, this is how Christians mourn. This is how Christians face this enemy of ours, death. Because notice what he said in that text. The good Lord has called my father home. Because without faith, what does death mean? When we face suffering and this kind of pain, there's an initial reaction of anger, even towards God. Like, God, why did you take my dad from me? Why did you take my mom from me? I mean, we all have experienced that whenever we have pain. But we know that's different with us and now with people as believers and disciples of Jesus Christ. The good Lord has called my father home. Because prior to this death, we prayed and we begged God, heal him, but God's will, he said no. But the good Lord still provides. Jesus in the gospel today heals a blind man. Because that's what Jesus does. Jesus is the healer, the divine healer. And he's going always to the depths of people's pain. You see, this is the way as Christians, as we suffer, whenever we experience the pains and the darkness and the suffocating tragedy of our lives, the Christian always invites Jesus into that. Because he's the only one that can heal. Yes, we all have addictions that we try to go other places to find healing, but that will always fail. Jesus is the architect, the designer, and the only one that can truly heal. It's not going to take some kind of self-help book or some pill or some drug. As important as those things are, they have a place, absolutely. But at the end of the day, it is Jesus Christ who heals. And we must always bring our pain to him. And Noah, prior to Jesus, understands this. This is the story of Genesis. The flood we all know about the flood. The flood is receding. What is the first thing that Noah does on the dry land? It says he offers sacrifice on the altar. He offers sacrifice on the altar. That should be very important for us, especially as Catholics, because in a few moments we're about to offer the supreme sacrifice here. Noah, who was the only faithful one out of all the whole world who were suffering because of sin, God washes away, cleanses the world. And then now as the waters recede, Noah takes all of the pain and the suffering of the world, which is what sacrifice is intended to atone for. We only started sacrificing after sin enters into the world, after pain enters in. And in response to the pain of the world, we now offer sacrifice and atonement for it. Jesus takes all of humanity's pain and suffering and says, "Unite it to me." Behold the pain of the world upon the cross. Behold it. When you look at the cross, stare at it and say, where is my pain and where is my suffering? And stop hiding it. Stop suffocating it with all of the many distractions and addictions that we all fall in love with. No, not us as Christians. Because Jesus wants to take it. Because He is the only one that can heal it. That is why He goes to the blind man. Because our Lord is good. Our Lord is beautiful. And our Lord is amazing.